So don't mind the makeup. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I'm like, I'm gonna do natural makeup. And this happened. I don't know. I think what happened is I was trying out gel liner. Well, not trying it out, but I'm not a huge fan of the Milani liquid liner. So I was like, I'm gonna do gel liner today. And I did that. And I totally messed it up. And I tried to salvage it by making it this weird cut crease weird thing that really is not flattering on hooded lids, but I'm rocking it anyway. And then I wanted a bright lip today regardless. So you get a lot of makeup today. I'm sorry if that bothers you. We're going to be doing a Q&A today. It's really not for anything. I just kind of wanted to do a chit chat video and I didn't know what to talk about. And I'm like, well, you guys always have questions, so why not ask you about questions that you want answered? So I asked you guys on Instagram and Twitter and Tumblr and what kind of questions you wanted me to answer in a video. So I got a lot of questions. I'm definitely not going to get to them all. And I apologize if I don't answer your question in this video, but let's just get started. Instagram takes so long to load on my phone. What is this? It's like... Ah, there we go. So the first question that I received, it says single, if not, how long? No, I'm not single. I do have a boyfriend and we've been together for 4 months now, coming up on this Friday, the 2nd. Next question, favorite TV show and favorite food. Love you and your channel so much. Thank you. Favorite TV show is no surprise. It's Big Brother, hands down my favorite of all time. When it's not on in the summer, I tend to rewatch past seasons in the fall, winter, spring. Favorite food has to be Chinese food. I don't know, I could eat noodles all day long. What's your natural hair color? I will actually insert a picture right now of my natural hair color. It is this like brownie color, mouse brown color. And then what's your ethnicity? I'm mostly Scandinavian and German, and I am 1/8 Filipino. That always blows people's minds because I don't look anything like a Filipino person. I don't have any traits from the Filipino gene in me. I think it was my great-grandmother that came from the Philippines. Might be great-great-grandmother, so I may just be a 16th Filipino. Do you prefer your hair blonde or brown and why? You know, looking back on old videos and stuff, I don't really like the brown hair as much as the blonde. I really like the blonde, and I know a lot of you guys like the blonde too. I will be changing it eventually. In my next color I want to do is like an auburn brown. So kind of like a reddish tone, darker chocolate brown. But for now, I really like the blonde. I'm going to keep it for a while until I have the hairstyle that I want because my hairstyle is just not working. On the 9th of August, I'm going to be cutting my hair. Don't worry, nothing super drastic, but it'll be different. What's your favorite non-horror / thriller film? Girl Interrupted, mainly because it's psychology based. I used to, when I was younger, want to work in one of those psych ward type things and be a counselor or psychiatrist for those type of people. I love that movie so much. It has Angelina Jolie, Winona Ryder, Brittany Murphy, some amazing actresses in there. How are you staying financially stable right now? What would be an ideal... Okay, this is a lot of questions. How are you staying financially stable right now? You know, finances is something that's quite personal, and you know I'm very open with you guys about everything in my life, but that is one thing I kind of like to keep private. I don't know, I don't feel like I need to tell you where I'm getting my money. I'll tell you, I pay my rent all by myself. I pay all my bills by myself. Nobody helps me. I've seen like rumors in the comments that like my parents pay for my rent. No, that's not the case. I do afford my own rent. You guys know I make money on YouTube. It's not the only source of income I have, but YouTube is a main source of it. And that's not a secret. Gurus make money. I don't think that's, you know, a surprise to any of you, or at least it shouldn't be. What would be an ideal job for you? I really want to work out of high school as a counselor for teens. That is like my dream job. When I think of that, I just get so excited. That's just what I want to do with my life. How is your mom doing? That's a very sweet question that you cared. I actually read this one to my mom because I was at my parents' house at the time when I posted that Instagram. And she was like, well, tell them I'm doing very well, thank you. And so she's doing very well, thank you. And I want to know more about your boyfriend, but I understand if it's too soon. Yeah, I got a lot of questions about my boyfriend. Now the thing is, I'll tell you certain things about him. He is younger than me, by many years, and not like illegal or anything, but I am 23 and he is legal. But I don't really want to share how we met and all that yet, nor his name, stuff like that. I have mentioned that kind of stuff on Tumblr, but I have my reasons to keep it private on YouTube right now, so just respect that. With time, we will be more open with it. I'm sure you'll see him in a video at some point. I know a lot of you are probably like dying to see him. Some point he'll come on here. I asked him the other day if he ever would, and he said yes, but kind of begrudgingly, so we'll see if that actually happens. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it kind of in the private life. Not a lot. I mean, I don't mind telling you I have a boyfriend, but so I'm not as secretive as some gurus, but not all the information yet. It is too soon. We've only been together for 4 months. How long have you been a pescatarian/vegetarian? Well, I am pescatarian, and I made the choice to become pescatarian on my 18th birthday. So it's been almost 5.5 years that I have not eaten land animals. For those of you who don't know, pescatarian, you eat fish only as a form of meat. And then you don't eat any land animals at all. Who is your favorite YouTuber? It changes. Right now it's Claire. Hey Claire. That's no surprise. I love Claire. Her style, everything about her, her personality, her videos, everything. I love it. If you don't know who Claire is, I'll have her channel right over here. Click on that or down below. Definitely check her out because she's one of my style inspirations. So she would be my favorite YouTuber at this moment. If you could make your own horror movie, what would it be about and what type would it be? That's a good question. I hadn't thought about it. I don't know. I would probably do a psychological thriller, not so much horror. I love gore and stuff, but if I were to make one of my own, that's not what gets to me. What scares me are things like The Ring, you know, something that's more psychological and more disturbing than gory. So something like that for sure. What is it like to study psychology? Is it draining, fun, hard to switch off from? Because I might get accepted to study it too, just wondering. Well, Deirdre, I think that's your name. What's it like to study psychology? For me, it's such an interesting subject because, okay, I just pulled hair out of my head when I did that. It's such an interesting subject to me because it applies to everything in life. You know, the basis of who we are as human beings revolves around the idea of psychology. So for me, it's so fascinating. Way better than like fashion and makeup. That's why I stopped studying fashion and went to psychology because it was more relevant to me. Yeah, fashion's fun and, you know, whatever. I can't picture myself living in a big city working in fashion. I cannot. So psychology's the way for me. Is it draining, fun, hard? Definitely fun. I love reading like the case studies and things like that where you have to use your critical mind and kind of evaluate the person, which is really fun. It is hard. I did just finish my 2 hardest classes at the community college I'm at. It's experimental psych and psych stats. The psych stats was hard, but I got it. I'm not that bad at math. I just don't like math. Experimental psych, we had a lot of articles that were really difficult to read. I like to think of myself as a literate person, but for me, I had to read them like 3 times to really understand. So it has its hard aspects, but it's so fun and so interesting that the hardness of it just makes it even more interesting because it's challenging. We all like things that challenge us, and I think that kind of subject, like psychology, it challenges us, yet it's so fun and fascinating. Is it hard to switch off from? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like, turn off so you don't evaluate other people, because I do that all the time. I like this one. Why did you get rid of your bangs? She has a few questions. I got rid of my bangs because the blonde with the bangs looked more like a wig. I'll insert a picture right here, or not right here, but like as I'm speaking right now, I'll insert a picture, because it just didn't look natural. The whole thing didn't look natural, so I like it without the bangs, and they're growing pretty fast. They're at this point now. My hair does grow pretty quickly, but they're still not anywhere near where I want them to be. Describe your ideal man. The one I'm dating. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's super cliche, but he really is like probably my ideal guy. So funny, for one. That is like the number one most important thing next to intelligence. I need both. I have to laugh. Like, and they have to laugh at my jokes. So the fact that my boyfriend currently has that is a plus. How do you imagine your wedding dress once the time is right? Well, I've been planning my wedding dress forever, and I still haven't strayed for the many, many years I've been thinking about my wedding dress, because, you know, we're all girls, we all do that. Maybe not all of us, but I really want a strapless gown that is kind of empire waist to, you know, right at the smallest part of your waist, and then it kind of billows out, but not a lot. And I really want it to be made of chiffon, kind of an ivory color, and just have it be really, really simple, like simple bust, nothing too ruffly or fancy or beaded or jeweled. I don't like all that. And then just really simple, straight, not really out, kind of A-line, but only A-line just because the chiffon is so light that the air catches it and kind of makes it billowy. That's my ideal wedding gown. If you could go on tour with one band for a month, who would it be and why? Korn. Actually, System of a Down. If System of a Down, well, I think they are on tour. They were on tour at least. Yeah, either one of those bands, because they're my two favorite bands in the world, and I think they're awesome people. They're really cool, so I think hanging out with them for a month would be amazing. When did you decide or find who you wanted to be, like style-wise, personality-wise, and things like that? Well, I didn't find myself until like 6 months ago, I would say, and I still am finding myself. I'm in that key point of my life right now, so I'm kind of like in the midst of finding myself as I go right now, and it's fascinating to me. I can really step back and look at my life and appreciate the things that have happened to me, good and bad. Also, finalizing my career, what I wanted to do, really helped me discover who I am as a person and what I want to do, because it gave me purpose. I've done a whole video on that. I think it was, I don't remember what psychology video it was, but I'll link it right over here. I kind of talk about that. I think it was how to be happy or something like that. You know, really finding yourself and finding what you want to do with your life helps you build purpose and makes you feel more confident. I think you said before that you don't believe in ghosts, but if you do, have you ever encountered or have you ever had any personal encounters with the supernatural, or know anyone who has? Or what has been your scariest experience in general? Sorry for all the spooky questions. Girl, I love me some spooky questions. Now, I don't believe in ghosts or spirits. You guys know I'm not a religious person at all, so I think that kind of helps when I watch horror movies by myself and I live alone and I'll go to sleep at night after watching a horror movie. I don't believe in any of it. I get scared in the moment, but once I come out of the movie. But I have had one weird experience before. My mom thinks it was a ghost. I don't. I think it was a weird lady. So I was rollerblading with my friend Stephanie. We were neighbors. We lived right across the street from the cemetery. I grew up like literally 20 feet from the cemetery, and I loved it. It was like, I still live pretty close to the cemetery. I'll still go there. I love that cemetery. But so we were gonna go rollerblading, and she went back inside to go to the bathroom, and I was kind of standing at the edge of her driveway, and I see this woman walk in like really old Victorian clothes with her hair in a bun. She's walking towards kind of me, not towards me, but down the street, and she stops right in the intersection. There's no stop sign or stoplight or anything, but she stops like in the intersection and just clasps her hands, and she's staring right at me. And I'm just kind of looking right back at her, and I'm like, who is this little lady? And so Stephanie comes outside, and I'm like, Stephanie, look, do you see that? Camera totally died. Anyways, so we're standing there looking at her. Stephanie sees her too, and all of a sudden she just turns around and walks back the way she came, down the street and around the corner. We still don't know to this day what that was. My mom thinks that was a spiritual experience that I had, but I don't think it was. How did you meet your boyfriend? I'm not going to tell you guys that yet, but I did slip him my number, which was a huge move on my part. I am not that kind of person to just slip somebody my number, but we made a really good connection, and I wanted to get to know him more, even though he was younger than me. I didn't care. We had good conversation about movies and stuff, so I gave him my number. How do you flirt? I don't really have any good advice for how to meet people. Just be social. especially in like classes, if you go to school, that's a good place to meet people, especially if it's a subject that you're interested in. Typically they'll be interested in that too, so you already have something in common. But I'm so bad at giving like flirting advice. I'm such a bad flirter. Oh my god, I can flirt over text just fine. In person, no. Seems like you're very much a relationship kind of girl, am I right? Do you not like being single or just hanging out with guys? I am a relationship person. I prefer to be in a relationship. It's not that I don't mind being single. I haven't really had a single period in my life, really. After Tyler, you guys know there was that guy that was like on and off for 4 months, and then I met my current boyfriend. So yeah, I've always kind of been in a relationship. It's how I like to be. I think I'm a better person. I'm happier in a relationship. Doesn't mean I can't be single. During that time when I was on and off with the guy, I consider that my single time because, well, that was a miserable point in my life, but I was always unhappy. But I was going through my life alone for the first time without Tyler, so I still consider that my single time. However, I do prefer to be in a relationship. I'm happier, and that's just how I am. Some people like to be in relationships as opposed to being single. I don't have a lot of guy friends anyway to hang out with. So yeah. Would you ever consider doing a meetup? Maybe in San Fran? Actually, I will be doing a meetup eventually, with Sam probably. Who's my friend, another channel listed over here. She does YouTube videos as well, so we will probably do a meetup in San Francisco. I think that's the closest city. It's about 2 hours away from me. I live closer to Sacramento, which is the capital of California, but not everybody lives in the Sacramento area, so I think it'd be easier to meet more of you in San Francisco. I feel like we could all commute there, or if you already live near the city, then that's great. But yeah, I do really want to do a meetup. I really want to meet you guys so much. I've only met a few of you in person because you kind of live around here, but I really, really want to meet you guys. If you could have plastic surgery, what would you change? There's only one procedure I would have done because I love my body, I love my face. Well, I mean, I don't want to sound cocky, but I think it's important that we love ourselves and we like the way we look. I've had some people tell me how ugly I am without makeup on, and it's like, well, I like myself without makeup on, my boyfriend likes myself without makeup on, my friends don't care, my parents don't care, so why do you matter? But there is one thing I would change, and that would be my teeth. I would say it's kind of a plastic surgery, but veneers. I would get, if I had $1 million, I would just get all the dental work done that I needed, because it's something I am a little bit insecure about. I've embraced it, and it is something that's imperfect on me, and it is what it is. I can't change it at the moment. I don't have the money. If I did, I would fix it. It's not something I embrace so much that it's like I'm never gonna touch it. I do want to fix it one day and get my teeth done, but it's not something that's important to me right now. It's not affecting my health. I don't have any cavities or anything. You know, I do go to the dentist on a regular basis. It's just a straightening that I need done. I would get that done. I do want to get Invisalign though, because I am getting up there in years. I don't want to be like a 30-year-old with braces. Not that that's a bad thing, but I'd prefer to have Invisalign for myself. But if I could, if I had the money just to do a procedure, I would do veneers. Any tips for people who want to start doing YouTube? I would love to, but I'm scared of being judged. Yeah, I think you're gonna be judged no matter what you do. I mean, I get criticized all the time for stupid things, and it's helped me build up a thick skin. YouTube has really given me so much confidence. Not because, you know, some of you say, oh, you're so pretty. I think it's because the hate that I get that try and break me down, but I am so resilient to that now. It's like, you know, what's wrong in your life that you feel like you have to put somebody down for something that has no relevance to you whatsoever, like my bronzer? How does that affect you, really? But you can't not do something because you're afraid. You can always have the comments on approval only if you're scared about people posting rude things. You're gonna get rude things no matter what you do. Just like Dita Von Teese says, you can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there's still going to be people who don't like peaches. That's just how life is. And you can't, you know, stop yourself from doing something you want to do just because you get hate or you get judged. that's life. I mean, it's a very realistic portrayal of how life really is. Just instead of people thinking those things about you, they type them to you and send them to you. So yes, it's hard in the beginning. I have cried a lot from some of the hate. You just have to delete it and ignore it. Never respond to it. Okay, I've responded to some people because they were so ignorant. I had to tell them how it was. But just delete it and you'll feel so much satisfaction from that. I think I feel so much satisfaction. I get hate all the time sent to me on Tumblr because you can be anonymous and it's like, delete, bye. And it's so fun. I don't know. I think it's exciting to just say bye to the haters when they send messages. You don't have to reply. So just know that you're going to get that, but you're a stronger person than that. You don't feel the need to go out and tell people that they're ugly or whatever to make yourself feel better. Just know that you're empowering other girls by showing that you're putting yourself out there. It means they can too. That's why I love to help inspire you guys to make your own channels, because it's so much fun and you really get to talk to a lot of awesome people and you inspire other people when you do that. And that should be the propeller for you starting a channel, not so much worried about the hate stopping you from doing it. So I'd say go for it. Worst comes to worst, you can delete everything and never have to do it again. But I don't recommend giving in to the hate and accepting failure. Just stick it out and you'll enjoy it, I promise. This video is so long as it is. I'm gonna have to cut this down so much because it's like 35 minutes at this point of footage. And so I'm not going to answer any more questions. If you have more questions for me, you can ask them in the comments and hopefully I can respond. Just type them back to you. If you really had a dying question that you wanted me to answer and I didn't, just leave it down below and I'll answer it hopefully in the comments if it's not like personal. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.